Jules, we not done. We got more quick hits.
Yes.
Don't look now, but it's back-to-back defeats for Manchester City. They fall 3-1 to Bodø Glimt in the Arctic Circle. Rodri gets sent off, and Pep looks depressed.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. Really, the result, the performance, they could have lost 5-1 easily. They were so poor in everything they did defensively with the ball. Nothing for Haaland again. That's one goal in 8-9 in all competition, and that was a penalty.
Not that you're counting or anything.
Yeah, terrible. I don't understand. I mean, yes, there was the bit of the shaky goal there, but defensively, the high line was a terrible idea. I guess the plastic pitch didn't help. Maybe the how cold it was and rainy or anything you want, but still, you should have done better than that.
But even a plastic pitch, like,
really
I know the ball runs differently, but the ball's going to run differently because it's -8 outside anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And also the one thing that everybody's been told: plastic pitch, don't let the ball bounce. Like that's like the most basic thing because it bounces differently, right? I mean, I'm not going to go and murder Max Aline because you know what? He's been there 2 weeks. It shouldn't mask the issues that are happening further up the pitch for this club.
Yeah, there's so many issues. And Gab, City captain Bernardo Silva and his vice captain Ruben Diaz, Erling Haaland and Rodri are so embarrassed that they have decided to get the players to personally refund the cost of the ticket to the Bodø Glimt game for the City fans who traveled away to Norway.
I get the spirit behind this, but somebody did the math on this.
Yeah,
there were 347 City fans who traveled. They spent around £30 a ticket, maybe a little bit less, so $35. The refund is 9,357. Divide that by 25 senior players at Manchester City. Yeah. From a PR move, this is not a good look.
No.
Right? Not when
pay for the flights as well and the hotels. I don't know. Just make it.
If you're going to do it,
do it properly.
Pay for everything. It's not going to cost you very much.
For players, yeah.
Obviously waited so Erling Haaland pays more than Max Aline.
Yeah.
Sure. But I just don't like this in general because you're saying you shouldn't apologize. If you try your best, I've just been taught this, you should never apologize for making a mistake.
Yeah.
This is football, right? By apologizing, you're intrinsically saying, oh, well, we didn't try. No, and I know they tried, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think this is a good look. And I understand the spirit. I'm not faulting that. There's better ways to do it.
Yeah. Barring an act of God or possibly Satan, Gabi, Arsenal will win the group stage of the Champions League after a 3-1 win away at Inter.
Yeah, which means that they'll win the Supporters' Shield. How about that? No, honestly,
is there a special trophy for that?
No, there's no trophy for it, but UEFA should make it. If UEFA were FIFA,
with hands,
yeah, exactly, they would make a trophy for it. No, so Arsenal were very good. I think Inter made the mistake of trying to play against Arsenal and trying to. We talked before the Marseille. Inter are in a situation, and I think a lot of teams in Europe face this, where domestically they play against smaller teams who go and pack the bus and they say, okay, let's knock the ball around, let's go and play, let's be open, try to impose ourselves. Inter without Hakan, without Çalhanoğlu, cannot do that against Arsenal's press. Arsenal simply are a better team. I was very happy for Gabriel Jesus, the 2 goals after what he's been through. If I were an Arsenal fan, I'd be happier still if the best on earth, Kai Havertz, were up front rather than him or Gyökeres. But Gyökeres also scored.
A lovely goal, yeah.
Lovely goal with a lot of help from Jan Sommer also.
Yeah, still, I think it's a lovely goal.
If Jan Sommer doesn't go on his knees,
I think it's a lovely finish, I would say, personally.
You're not blaming the keeper at all on that one?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a lovely, lovely finish.
I gave him credit for his confidence.
It's a good curler.
But yeah, I thought Arsenal, they made it look extremely easy.
Yeah.
And I think...
With a lot of rotation as well.
With a lot of rotation. And I think the other difference too is when Arsenal beat teams in the Premier League who go and park the bus and it's a set piece or whatever, you get a sense that, okay, we can beat these guys who face us a certain way. Now they went out and they outplayed, what I think is still a top European side.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that also helps build confidence.
Yeah. Moses Caicedo scores the only goal as Chelsea overcome Paphos to keep their top 8 aspiration alive. Gab, what did you make of it?
Cole Palmer, MIA, in this game. I'm sure everything's fine and it's a breather or there's a reason for it. But we got to see Enzo in at the 10, which is where you think he belongs.
Absolutely.
And Reece James in midfield with Caicedo. First half was atrocious.
Yeah.
He substitutes, even ended up substituting the goalkeeper, Jorgensen.
Yeah.
Maybe he's been listening to you.
I think he was injured maybe, but yeah.
You were maybe just injured and just not as good as Robert Sanchez.
Also,
we got to see a Badiashile back heel, which got me excited.
Yes.
Like, typical game where I think Chelsea created chances without playing particularly well in the first half. And if you're a senior, you want them to finish the chances.
Yeah.
To me, that's the main takeaway. Afterwards, they could have scored more, but it is slightly worrying and concerning because Pafos nearly held them to a draw, and we know that they go away to Napoli. Napoli with skin in the game in their final match day. Also, when you make this many changes, is the team really growing that much? Are you developing that chemistry? That's always the needle that Rossinier has to thread. Daniel Svensson gets sent off after 24 minutes, and a depleted Tottenham side beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0. Jules, does this change your mind about whether Thomas Frank should stick around?
No, not really. That gives him some time, for sure. Buys him some time. There was energy, there was intensity, which there hasn't been enough since the start of the season, really. So I like that. They lost Bergwijn too. Dortmund did a Dortmund, even apart from the red card, because they were poor from the start and consider some really poor goals. The first one, especially early, but. Yeah, I'm not sure you can take a lot away from this.
Guirassy touched the ball, I think, as many times as I did during that game. Yeah. But I will say this. This should not, if you're Tottenham, this should not minimally impact whether you keep or move Thomas Frank. He has everybody injured. I looked at the bench. It's Colm Muani, Dane Scarlett, who I've heard of because he's often on the bench and never plays, and a whole bunch of guys who are filler from the youth team. Oh, and Kinski. As if he's going to come on in midfield. You can't judge a coach based on this. Whether he wins or loses, you cannot judge him on that. So you judge him on the work done until now. And if you've decided, maybe that's why Heitinga's there, to do the Judas, then make the move.
Yeah.
You cannot go by results and performances because he doesn't have his players. Yeah. PSV get boshed at Newcastle 3-0. Harvey Barnes and Fuego, Jules.
Yeah, and Yohan Wissa as well, first time in the Champions League ever for him. Let's not forget that not that long ago he was playing for Lorient. And now golden and assist for him. Great performance. Okay, PSV had 8 starters missing. It was not even the B team, probably the C team. They were never going to be able to match the intensity and the rhythm of Newcastle at St. James's Park. So well done to them. They lost Bruno Guimaraes, and we don't know yet exactly how serious the ankle injury is, but let's hope it's not much, because next week Newcastle go to Paris, obviously, to play against PSG. So that it's going to be a huge, huge game. Deloitte published their Money League rankings. Gab, what stands out for you?
So the headline figure, because people like being mean to Manchester United, is that they slipped to 8th, which I think is the first time ever they've not been in the top 5th. These rankings are by revenue. By the way, you might have seen rankings of valuations. Forbes does them, others. Those rankings are estimates, and they're all a little bit kind of fugazi in the sense that finger in the wind. Something's worth what you pay for them. This is based on revenues. This is much more solid. They recalculate it because different countries calculate things in a different way. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, and Paris Saint-Germain are the top 4. There are no Premier League sides in there. But guess what? The next 6 are all Premier League sides. Manchester United are down to 8th. I think simply because they didn't have a good season in Europe. Yeah. I mean, that's the obvious one. Liverpool, the highest revenue in that group, which surprised me a little bit. Yeah, just ahead of City and then Arsenal. Interestingly, the wages. No prices for guessing who's number 1, and I would have thought this number's come down. It's come down tremendously.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to come down, if they're able to make it come down further. Maybe yes, because Donnarumma's gone, but it's Paris Saint-Germain, 457 million euros. Number 2, Barcelona, 442 million, which means you still have a problem, Barca.
Too high by far.
Real Madrid, 429, Liverpool, 421, very close there. City, 397. The other one that surprised me, Arsenal, 338. We assume that's going to go up because Saka's getting paid and they bought all those guys. Chelsea's still 353. That's still really high. Now, some guys, maybe they haven't gotten off their books yet. You can't blame all of this on Raheem Sterling, boys.
That's true.
So there's some interesting nuggets, I think in there.